Hey everybody, it's vanburman here. Welcome back to another video. We're going to talk about the RTX 3080 Ti launch. Don't know why we're even bothering. I think it's very similar to a lot of the other ones that I did. There was a couple of differences. I guess a couple of unexpected bits, I guess, that that happened sort of on the day I was there. Attempting to see if the Founders Edition was possible to nab, and yeah, much like the first, well, actually, even worse, I think, than the 3080 is I was able to press the button to add to cart, but I wasn't able to actually get it in there. So, that was a bit of a shame for me. Although, I guess, in a sense, but, I have ordered a water block for my 3080 MSI now, so I guess probably sticking with that would probably be better, and I imagine probably be able to get some good gains on the overclock with it being water cooled, keeping it much cooler. So we'll see on that one how that differs between the two. But I think if you were looking to get a RTX 3080 Ti, you probably smack out of luck like everybody else. I find it absolutely incredible though that other than the Founders Edition and some very early units, they're all sort of they all seem to be priced, if you can even find it in stock, more than they're pricing the 3090s for now, which I just find incredible. I mean, the fact that they were supposed to be like $1,300, so naturally you end up having to do the 1-for-1 conversion, so that almost comes across as though it's going to be £1,300. Luckily, the early ones weren't. They were more sort of, well, there were a couple on scan anyway, some that were at 1,050, which is what the Founders Edition was set at, and then the other ones were about 1,399, I think, so 1,400. But yeah, looking at other sites like CCL, for example, I think I saw one for like £2,200. Absolutely ludicrous. I mean, you are literally getting to the point where you can buy one that is scalped, if you like, off of eBay for less than the retailers are charging you now. It's a little bit of a joke, personally. I know there's shortages, and I get that, supply and demand, and this is sort of what it opens itself up to. But it's just, I suppose, just the realization that actually, if you were absolutely desperate for one at the minute, the best place to get one from and the availability is all sat with third-party sellers charging double the rate. Or at least that's what it was like yesterday. I haven't actually even had a look today because there is no point. So there's not really too much to say. I was looking through some of the... Not too much to say on that. I mean, on the launch, it was as you would expect it to be, I guess, is probably the best way of putting it. It wasn't too far behind the paper launch. So far, the AMD 3900X, 3900X or 6800X, whichever one it was, that came out, that was a complete paper launch. I don't know of hardly any units that were sold on that card's release. Yeah, that was definitely the lowest point, I guess, for that kind of thing. Looking at the performance numbers, though, it looks like it's fairly decent. And to be honest, if we were looking at MSRP, I suppose, and this card was placed around the 900. It should be under £1,000 really, but between 900 and £1,000 in terms of the stack, it works quite well. You want 3090 performance, but you're also then not paying for the extra VRAM. That makes sense for it to be like a pure gaming card. So that for me is, I have no real issue with it as a product. In terms of performance, where it fits on the stack, I think that all makes sense to me. I think the issue is obviously availability, which no point even discussing that at this point, but also price. I think Nvidia, for the integrity of the stack, have woefully misjudged it. For the market, probably got it right. I think it doesn't make it a good value. Doesn't mean you should go out and buy it. £1,050 is still too much, but I would say because of shortages, probably worth paying. But other than that, probably not. And not worth it on an upgrade over a 3080. I guess the thing for me was I'd like to have a Founders Edition card that's not been scalped, just so I am sort of guaranteed that The warranty, because from what I gather, the switching of the warranty is, well, I don't know, potentially lead to issues. I think they're a lot cooler for water cooling as well, because they've got the cut down PCB, and the water blocks are really tidy on them. But other than that, it's difficult to really be able to recommend it over something else. I think, I don't know. I don't know what advice I have over if you couldn't get a 3080 Ti, what to go for, because it's just whatever's in stock. There's 2060s up for £500. And at that point you may as well buy a brand new laptop with a 3060 in for an extra couple of hundred, or for like 250 quid. But that gets you everything. It's a whole system in one, as opposed to just a graphics card for your desktop. So it's yeah, I don't know. It's frustrating time. It only continues, unfortunately, with each launch to get even more frustrating. Under normal circumstances, I would be really excited for a 3080 Ti. And maybe no, I wouldn't have waited, I guess, but it would have been nice if it had come out a bit closer to the 3080 launch for me personally. But other than that, because we're like 9 months on, if it had come out like 6 months on, in March time, in terms of the release, that would have been better. That would have been better for me, but it wouldn't make a difference anyway, because there wouldn't have been any to go around. So that's where we are. Like I say, sold out within seconds. I was keeping an eye on the forum, on the forums and on Discord and stuff, just to see what other people were faced up against. Exactly the same thing. It's a bit of a joke. I don't know. There are some normal people getting them, but you don't know what they're having to employ in order to be able to get them. And it just seems completely ludicrous. They didn't all go live in the UK at 2. Some stuff came in after that. Some stuff started coming up at around 3. Stuff didn't even go in stock. Obviously, it went straight to out of stock. The usual stuff. But just think for completeness for this generation, because I don't think there's going to be any other. Well, there's not going to be like a 395, is there? No, sorry, a 3095. It doesn't quite have the same ring to it, does it? Two 3090s on one board. Gosh, that would be some power. Consumption, I mean. Oh, anyway, where I was going with that. Yeah, so I don't think there's going to be any more, high-end launches for this series. So I guess probably, unless they're planning on releasing the 40 series this year, but I imagine that due to sort of shortages and everything will probably come next year anyway. If it's going to come then at all, and give the market time to catch up, then there's not really too much else for me to do these videos on. But it has been fun, especially the earlier ones to do, when we were talking about, I'm struggling to sell my 2080 Ti. Yeah, okay, well, it's worth double what I sold it for in the end. But then again, my 3080 is worth nearly 3 times the amount I bought it for. Yeah, I know, crazy. I was going to say something else, I've forgotten now. But yeah, there you go. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this series. And good luck if you're still trying to get one. I hope that you manage to find a second-hand bargain on a 2060 or on a 1080 or even a 1070 would still be pretty good. 1070 Ti, very similar to a 1080. I think that's probably the best way to go second-hand wise, but it's just difficult. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and good luck. Bye for now.